Hello everyone, and today we're going to be something a little bit different. Today we're going to be talking about Hell Let Loose. This is new tactical FPS that's coming out next year, and they just started putting up a lot more information on their site, and I thought I'd cover it since this is pretty much along the lines of Squad, and it's pretty similar to Squad, just in a World War II setting. So we'll go through some of the information. I'll show you a couple screenshots, show you their website, and yeah, I definitely think that this is going to be a game to look out for. This is definitely going to be a game that I play simply just by reading it and looking at it. It looks like something that I'm definitely going to be interested in, especially since it's so similar to Squad, but it's in a World War II setting. And they have, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm really interested in this game. I think you guys, if you like my content and like my channel, you guys will be interested in this as well. So I thought I'd share it with you guys. So essentially what Hell Let Loose is, it's a huge battle, tactical FPS, hardcore FPS with building and vehicles. So yeah, you have 100 players per game, so 50 v 50. You have to use tactics and communication, which is one of the things I love about the kind of games that I play, is that you need that communication. It's really hard to win without communication, and communication makes every game so much more fun. One cool thing that they're doing is that you get resources from capturing sectors, not flags, but sectors, which are large areas of the map that you would control, and you get resources, and you have to, choose where you use those resources. So there's a lot of strategy as well that goes into Hell Let Loose, and I'm all about that strategy. I'm all about commanding. I'm all about controlling things and determining where assets go and everything like that. So I think this will be great. That strategy, kind of that RTS aspect. There's going to be, they say, over 20 different player controlled vehicles and deployable weapons. So that'd be awesome to see what kind of, iconic vehicles they'll add and weapons, because it's all going to be World War II stuff. So that's going to be great to see. So four click squared map. So there's sizable maps. It's not infantry, small scale combat. It's, you're going to get that battle sense again. Supply capture and building systems, like I said before, and then, as I said before, World War II, so it's going to be, historically accurate and feel really realistic. So we're going to go on, and they talk about what kind of vehicles they're adding. So there's supply, transport, light armor, medium armor, heavy armor, mobile artillery, tank destroyers, assault guns, half-track, scouts, and repair. So pretty much every ground vehicle that you could imagine in World War II, I'm sure you're going to see some type or form of it. But yeah, really cool stuff. So as they say, there's 3 levels of warfare, and this is what really excites me, is the commander role. Play as the commander role, and I'll get to decide on this strategy as I deploy my forces, and that gets me excited. I love commanding. You guys know in squad ops, I love commanding. When we're playing squad vanilla, I love the squad lead. So I think this will be great for me. Like I love playing that role. So we'll see how that is. And then of course you have that logistics and that supply lines that you got to take care of. It's not just full-on combat. You do have like support roles, so I think that's great as well. I like seeing how a lot of these new games have that support role and not everybody's fighting at the same time. Tactical, so you can establish observation posts and stuff like that. So I think this is really cool, because this is another technically like a support role, like an observation post. Like you're not really fighting, you're just observing and you're relaying that information. I really like support roles. Like I think they give games so much more depth when you have things other than, okay, point and shoot. There's so much more depth to that game. So as they say here, instead of just fighting over small flags, you fight over sectors of the map, which are large areas of the map. So I think that'll be a cool new game mode, because I don't think we have many of those in any current or previous shooters where you have to capture large areas. But yeah, we'll see how that warfare game mode plays out. I'm really interested in that. Realistic weapons, obviously World War II. But yeah, let's go over some of the other stuff on this site. We'll go over some of the FAQ stuff. So it's only going to be on PC. So they're focusing only on establishing a PC title, which is all good and all good. They're going to start off with just the German and American army factions, but they do plan on adding, British, the other German factions, the Soviet forces, and the Imperial, which is great, because I know some World War II games right now, they only focus on one theater of war. It's good to hear that Hell Let Loose is focusing first on the European theater of war, and then they're planning on expanding to British, Soviet, and the Pacific front as time progresses. So hopefully we'll get all of those eventually. That would be awesome to see. Of course, the game's not even out yet. Haven't even seen any real gameplay footage yet. But hopefully, as development goes on, they'll be able to add these cool factions. All right, so it's gonna be so they talk about how their game is kind of going to be played, and they want it to be high intensity, as they say here, high intensity, high lethality kind of gameplay like Red Orchestra. So you're not gonna have bullet sponge enemies. You're gonna be able to kill people like in one shot, just like other games like Insurgency, Dave, Infamy, Squad, Red Orchestra. So it's gonna have that high damage model, high lethality model. Highly realistic model, and then you're gonna have that operational and supply and construction, as I say here, like with Project Reality. So you have base building, you have that logistics, you have all the support elements. So that'll give the battle more depth. And then what I really like is that they're gonna add the strategy of like Company of Heroes. So that overarching like strategy of where you're gonna put troops. Is it worth it to put troops here? What do you gain by putting them here? What are you gonna like? I'm a sucker for RTS games. Like I really am. Like I played the crap out of StarCraft and Company of Heroes, Steel Division, as you guys saw before, and I love that. I love incorporating that command structure and that RTS feel into first-person shooters. I really think that's gonna be a great mix. There will be destructible elements. At first, they're working on bridges, walls, and fences. But just having destructible elements in this game is great. Because right now, I think Battlefield and Rainbow Six are the only two games that have destructible environments. But in a tactical shooter, I don't think many games do. So this will be something unique to Hell Let Loose, is destructible elements. So we'll see how that goes. Will there be gore? They will have gore. And what I really like about this is, being a content creator, being a YouTuber, it makes the footage so much more interesting. It makes it so much more immersive. And that's what my content's all about, is making immersive gameplay for you guys. So having it be gory and having it be realistic and cinematic, I love that because it makes for great content. You talk about wounding and how different parts on where you get hit, they're going to have a very in-depth damage model. So if you get hit in somewhere non-vital, then you can deal with it yourself. But if you get hit somewhere in your vitals, then you'll need someone else to help you. How will vehicles work? They do plan on having localized vehicle damage. So depending on where you got hit, it might do certain things like cripple you, immobilize you, kill your main gun. So it's really cool. It's really cool. Like they're doing a lot of in-depth stuff at the scale of like Squad per se. So you have like in-depth wounds, in-depth vehicle, map environment destruction, a lot of cool stuff. A lot of these features that are really, I think, going to flesh this game out. But we'll see how that goes. And then will we be able to build? Of course, they talk about how yeah, you will be able to build just like Project Reality. Have logistics, supplies, deploy guns, deploy certain other defenses and tank traps and sandbags and stuff like that, I would imagine. So we'll see what you will be able to build. I'm sure they'll confirm some of these things later, but they do mention that you will be able to build. So just looking at some of these screenshots, like the game is beautiful. Like it really is. Like it looks realistic. I like the art style. It's not cartoony. It's not last gen. It's current gen. It's on UE4. Which is the same engine that Squad's on, same engine that Insurgency Sandstorm's going to be on. So it's current gen, and it just looks gorgeous. Like the Sherman and just the mud and everything. It just looks really nice for an indie game that is coming out of nowhere. But yeah. Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. I like the environments. Like the environments have this really dense, line of sight, very, very realistic feel to it. Like you don't know what you're gonna see around that corner. It's I don't know. It gives you this dense feel, which I don't think a lot of engines have right now, because a lot of engines are dealing with performance issues, so they can't really have too much dense foliage. Like I'm trying to think right now what large scale shooter right now has like dense bushes like this. And I can't really think of any. Like with so much detail to the environment. But yeah, this really amazes me. like how much detail is it in this environment. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm excited for it. I think it looks good. It really interests me. It's pretty much like it's got, well, like they said, it's got that high lethality of like Day of Infamy and Insurgency, that high lethality model, but it's in depth like Red Orchestra. But then you got you know, kind of the large scale combat like Squad and PR with the building and logistical supplies of PR. And then you have like the RTS, which is a big thing for me, which is like RTS features and the command structure and being able to, you know, control certain things. At one point they talk about controlling aerial and naval assets. So I'm curious as to see if that's going to be like Day of Infamy where you call it in, or how that system's going to work. But they do say you'll be, as a commander, you'll be able to use aerial and naval assets. So we'll see how that is. But yeah, really cool stuff. And then, you know, realistic setting, very cinematic and immersive. Just by looking at it, you can tell. Then a lot of destructible environments. It's gonna be great. I think this game is really gonna appeal to me. So I'm excited. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This is Hell Let Loose, and I'll see you guys next time.